guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda and I have been gone for forever. I know it's been a few months since I filmed my last video, but I am here. There's some things that I want to talk about, and as you can see by the title, I have been going through my own stuff recently, some hard times, and I think that throughout what I've been going through, I've learned some things that I really want to share with somebody out there that might really need to hear it. And just know that I was in your place like probably just a few weeks ago and I am here, and I think that there's some things that I really want to say that I think can really help, and I hope it does. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay guys, so the first thing that I want to talk about is there's a reason that you are still here. And I know that sounds kind of like cliche, and you probably see like stuff about it all the time, like, oh, there's a reason you're still here, but whenever you're going through something, especially when you're in the thick of things, I think that it's so easy to forget that there is a reason that you're still here. And there's a reason why you are going through the things that you're going through. And I know that that doesn't always make it easier, but at least you can take comfort in knowing that there are so many things that have yet to be discovered in your life, and that's why you're here. And the things that you're going through are for a reason, and they may show themselves right away, or they may show themselves in a few months, in a few years, but everything happens for a reason. And the reason that you are here is because there is so much more left to your life. This is not the end all be all. This is not where you are just done and over and there's, nothing left to live. And especially if you may be going through some kind of depression and you may be feeling some really deep dark thoughts, I would suggest that if things get really bad, that you do call somebody, call a professional, call the suicide helpline or something like that. But I think that it's just so important to remember there's a reason that you're still here. There's a reason for it. This is not all in vain. There's something to come of this and you still being here. Okay, so the next thing that I have to talk about is acknowledging what you're going through. And I think that it's so easy at first to, when you're going through a hard time, to try to ignore it in any way that you can, whether that be drinking, partying, doing whatever to try to ignore it. Or, it could be, I promise I wasn't picking my nose, I was scratching. But it could be so many different things, not just drinking or partying, but, anything to try to take your mind off of what you're going through. And I think that it's important to acknowledge how you're feeling and be honest with yourself. And I think that that is truly the way that you learn and grow from what you're going through, is to just be like, I am not okay. I am really going through a lot. Like, this isn't, it's not like just like what I'm trying to make it out to be. It's actually affecting me a lot. And I think that as humans, I think that as a coping mechanism, we just try to just do anything we can to ignore it. But I think that respecting that you are going through a lot and acknowledging that is so important to you ultimately getting through it, because you can't, if you're constantly running away from it, you'll never really grow from it or go through it. No matter how hard what you're going through is, no matter what you have to accept or whatever it is, I think that the only way to get through it is to go through it and stop trying to run around it. And trust me, I am the queen of running away from my problems. But yeah, I think that with this that I've been going through, I've learned that it's like, okay, I really need to handle this, and there's a lot of things that I need to grow from this. And I think that that's really important, and I think that that would be really helpful for respecting what you're going through, is acknowledging it and don't downplay it, because that's not going to do you good. That's not going to do anyone else any good if you act like you're okay when you're really not okay. Okay guys, so the next thing is seeking help. And that doesn't just mean professional help. It means support from the people around you. That could be your family, that could be your friends, anybody really. But I think that it's so important to have that support system when you're going through a really hard time, because I think that a lot of us, me being one of them, I try to go through things by myself, and a lot of us try to do that, especially again if we're downplaying it and everything like that. We're like, oh, I can get through this, I'll be okay. But once you acknowledge it and you acknowledge, okay, this might be bigger than myself and I might actually really need some help with this, I think that it's important to go ahead and ask for help from other people. And if that does mean seeking professional help from a therapist, a counselor, a doctor, or anybody, I think that you need to acknowledge that sometimes the problem is bigger than yourself. And I think that with that being said, another thing is whenever you are seeking help from someone is to be honest and transparent about what's going on with you. And I think that a lot of times whenever we try to get help from other people, we oftentimes try to act like it's not as bad as it really is, or maybe not tell them the whole truth of what's really going on with us or whatever it is. And I think that it's so important to just be honest and really let them know what's going on with you, why it's going on with you, you know, what it really is, because someone can't really help you if they don't know what's really going on or how you're truly feeling. And you may be really surprised by what someone can really help you with, what you're actually going through, if you really are honest about what it is. Because some people can really surprise you and they can give you advice on things or just lend a ear or whatever. That sounded weird, but you know what I mean. Like, they can help you through something that you thought you really couldn't get, like no one could help you with. And people may really surprise you if you are open and vulnerable and are able to really let them in and tell them what's going on with you. And I think that that's so important, and I really would try to do something like that and try either family, friends, and if you really feel like you need to, go seek professional help. There's no shame in that. There is absolutely no shame in saying, I really need some professional help here. This is way too much and I need help. There's no shame in that, and don't ever feel like there is any shame in that. Okay guys, so the next thing is finding something that helps you through this, as in calming you down or maybe just giving you a little bit of a break. And I know that might seem kind of contradictory. That's not how you say that. You know what I mean. It might seem it might seem kind of weird for what I was saying before, but I do think that it is important to give yourself something that may help you have a little bit of a break from what you're going through. And that could be working out, that could be painting, that could be so many things that are productive, but that can just help you get your mind off of it in a healthy way, and not where you're running away from your problems, but where you can just take a break and just take some time to clear your mind. Because if you do take that time to clear your mind, to try not to focus on everything so much, you will be able to come back with a more clear head, and you'll be able to look at things maybe a little bit differently, or you'll just be a little bit happier in a way, or just more calm in a way, because you took that time for yourself to really take a break. And that's really important, because if we're constantly thinking about things, we're constantly doing things that, you know, are what we need to do but not what we want to do, and it's just this cycle. But then once we actually do something for ourselves that actually makes us feel kind of good in the moment and takes our mind off of things, that can actually really help. And if you're doing that often enough, it might actually really help you get through what you're going through. Okay guys, so the next thing is not comparing yourself to other people, and maybe even someone that's going through something similar to you. Maybe they are healing at a different rate than you. Maybe things are getting better for them faster than they are for you, or you know, just whatever. Or just looking at someone that's really okay and you're just really not, and it's making you feel bad because you feel like something's wrong with you. Do not compare yourself to other people, because we are all on our own journey. And that sounds so, we're all on our own journey, but we really are. And if we look at other people and compare ourselves to other people, then that is disrespecting our own journey and what we have going on within ourselves. And you honestly may be surprised as to what someone is actually going through inside. Things may seem all good, but they really might not be. So it's important to focus on your own journey and not compare yourself to other people, because one, you have no idea what they're going through behind closed doors, and two, that is what their journey is about. But your journey is about something completely different. Your calling and your growth and everything that will go into making you may be something completely different than what they are. And it's important to respect that, to acknowledge that, and just don't compare yourself to other people, because you're going through enough. You don't need to do that to yourself. And I know it's hard to do that, and I've definitely done that to myself, but this is your journey, not theirs, and that's okay. It's okay to be on your own journey and to heal and get through things on your own time and in your own way. Okay guys, so the last thing is, my mom is using the can opener. That's what that noise is, if you can hear it. But the last thing is being gentle with yourself. And I know that that's hard to do when you're really going through a hard time, is being gentle with yourself and being kind to yourself. But I look at it as treating yourself the way that you would treat like a best friend or a friend that's going through something. And if you saw your friend going through something, you wouldn't just be like, oh my god, get over it, you know, or something like that. Or you might, I mean, I don't know, but like, you know, most people, they would handle them with care, and they would handle them with compassion. And that's so important to do to yourself. And I've talked about it in my other videos, but it's so important to be your own best friend. And I know that it's so hard to do that, and I'm not gonna lie, within these past few months, a little personal here, I have kind of forgotten that, and I haven't treated myself the way that maybe a best friend would treat me. And I've had to relearn the friendship with myself, because at the end of the day, we do need help from other people, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and I think is very important. But it's so important to be there for yourself and be your own best friend, because at the end of the day, if you have your own back and you have yourself, then you can get through anything, and you will get through this, especially if you have your own back. And I think that that's so important, and I know that it's not easy, but you know, if you like, just think about your best friend, if you have one, and if you knew that they were going through something really hard, maybe they were going through depression, or maybe they are going through a breakup or whatever it is, and you saw that they were going through a hard time, what, you would go over there, you would bring them a bunch of food and movies, and you would go over there and hang out and take care of them and do what you needed to do as a friend to them. Do the same thing for yourself. Take care of yourself. Do the things that you would do for your own best friend. And that's so important. And you know, I know that it's hard. I really do. Trust me, I really do get it. But that's so important, and I think that it will really help. And I hope that this video helped. I know that it might be all over the place, because I'm a little all over the place, but I hope that it may help somebody out there, and that's why I'm making this video. And it hasn't really been easy to talk about for myself, but I know that the things that I've gone through myself are for a reason, and I truly believe that one of those reasons is to help you guys who are watching. And that's super sappy, but it's the truth. But yeah, all right, well, I guess I'll see you all in the next video. I'll try not to wait like 3 or 4 months or however long I've been gone. But yeah, you're gonna be okay and you're gonna get through this. And yeah, all right, bye guys.